Welcome back to Maths with Mr. Duffield. Sorry I've been a bit quiet over the last couple of days, been sending a few emails on follow-up to work on Teams. Those of you who have been doing it, well done. Some of my GE have asked for some help on this transforming trig graphs extension work that I've sent you. Hopefully you'll find this engaging and interesting. Okay, this is the graph y equals sine x. It ranges between 0 and 360 degrees, meaning halfway across is 180 and so on. We're asked to find some of the key coordinates here, coordinate point P and Q. Now point Q is probably the more straightforward one to start with actually. I've gone 180 along on the x and it's 0 on the y, right? Not up, not down. Point P is exactly halfway between point 0 and point Q. That's 90, and then the maximum height of a traditional sine wave is 1. That should hopefully make a bit of sense. Down here is a transformed trig graph, the cos graph. It has been tripled in height because the whole thing has been times by 3. So instead of ranging between 1 and minus 1, the cos graph has been tripled to range between 3 and minus 3. And cos 2x. Now, usually a trig graph ranges between 0 and 360. You might think that doubling x means that it ranges between 0 and 720. Not so. It is in fact halved in its range from 0 to 180. That is what it is between. Okay? So, 0's there, 180 is here, meaning that halfway across is 90. That's going to help us with some of these questions. Okay, the coordinate of point R. Okay, so we've already talked about how the period of this graph is effectively halved. It's between 0 and 180. That means if this is 90, this is exactly halfway between 0 and 90, which is actually in fact 45 and 0. If you think about a traditional cos graph, it usually comes down and intersects the x-axis at 90, but everything's halved, so that would be 45. Point S, what's the coordinate of that? Well, you can see from what I've put on the graph already, it's 90 across and it's 3 down. Usually the cos graph would go down to its negative value of minus 1, its minimum value of minus 1, at 180. But because of the way in which it's been transformed, that is what is happening with those coordinates. I hope that that makes sense. I'm going to finish the video there. Actually, if you understand what's going on with this stuff, what I've just described, then all of the work that I've set here is accessible to you. I hope that that makes sense. I hope that you work productively and positively. And for goodness sake, get your work onto Teams. I will talk to you very, very soon.